Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing today? Do I look over it? Do I look exhausted? Let me just tell you, I am exhausted. I am over it. I have had it, but we made it through so far. So, how are you guys doing? Happy Saturday. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that reached out to me and was asking me if we were okay because there was no vlog up yesterday, and on and on and on, and I just got so many just really loving and supportive comments yesterday and last night, and I just really appreciate it. People sharing stories with me that they were in the same situation because they were either like in Indiana or Illinois or Ohio, and that they had lost power too. So that's why the vlog didn't go up yesterday, was because we lost power. In fact, we just got power back like a half an hour ago. It was kind of funny how it happened, but I'll tell you the whole story. Or how we got, it was kind of funny how we got the power back, but I'll tell, it's not funny, but it's like funny how I found out that the power came back on, but I'll tell you that story in just a second. So, what happened was, I finished my vlog yesterday, and I like rendered the memory card, and then, so that's where I like upload the memory card, and then I had rendered the vlog piece together. Well, the vlog yesterday was an hour and 29 minutes, so that takes a while. It can take up to like a half an hour to an hour to just render that long part, and then I usually upload it on my phone, which is pretty quick. Well, I was sitting out here waiting for it to get done rendering, and it was okay, so I was looking across the street, and my neighbor, her, like, Halloween lights came on. And I was like, her lights are so pretty. Well, like, at the same time that her Halloween lights came on, I'm, like, on my phone looking through stuff, and Alex texted me, and he said, our electricity just went off. It's interesting because, you know, yesterday, so I'm posting both of these vlogs today. I don't care. It's been my intent to not miss a day, and I have been going strong for almost 6 months. I'm not missing a day. So Alex is like, you haven't even posted yesterday's vlog yet. I said, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if this vlog is 3 hours long. I'm posting a 3-hour vlog next to an hour-and-a-half vlog. I don't know how long. I need to talk to somebody. I feel like I've been inside. My husband's been asleep most of it, so it's been me and Mr. Boo Radley, and I watched Storm of the Century last night and was texting people and had was running out of my last bit of battery charger on my thing, and so right now inside we literally have like, he has his iPad charging, I have mine, because the last couple hours it's gone off and on, and so we're getting emails and they're saying that it might go off again. So we're like charging everything inside. I'm like, my phone is at 100%. I think we have 4 chargers inside. 2 of them are charging and 2 of them are 100%. My iPad right now is at 43%. So it's charging. I hope it makes it to the top. We're charging like everything that we possibly can. And then I'm also charging the heated vest batteries, which I have 2 of those. I thought I had 3, but I can't find the 3rd one. Because that's the thing that runs the, it runs the heated vest, but it also runs, what do you call it? The travel fan that I bought that I don't travel with because it doesn't put off enough air. But the one thing it will do is it connects into like a USB thing, so you can connect it to the things you think of, right? And then this, I've been carrying this around with me for the last 24 hours, which is actually the flashlight that I bought to go on the paranormal investigation for Fox Hollow Farms. So let me tell you what happened. So anyway, I was sitting out here and I noticed that she had like plugged in her Halloween lights over there. She's got like black and orange. And I think they're black, orange, and purple Halloween lights. And they're real pretty. They're on her bush. She, like, every holiday she changes her, you know, the color. That sounded bad. She changes the colors. I feel like I'm kind of losing it, if you want to know the truth. Like, the 3 of us, so everybody in this neighborhood's on a different grid. I know the grid now because of last night. Because everybody was like texting each other and like, do you guys have electricity? Do you guys not? And so we kind of know where the grid is in the neighborhood now. I thought it was just like she and I, or the 3 of us, and then we were in the back, but that's not how it works. What's interesting is, well, I'll get to that in just a second. Okay, so I'm sitting out here, and I knew that there was a chance that electricity was going to go out because the wind was supposed to be really bad when I was vlogging yesterday, whatever, but like the wind was picking up. It was really bad last night. I mean, the storms in Indianapolis last night, like the wind, and I'm working on very little sleep too, just to put that out there. The wind was a lot last night. Like I had the back, I mean, it was getting hot in the house, so I had like the back screen open, and I mean, you could you could hear it, like the wind was like howling and stuff like that. Interestingly enough, I feel like we've had like a lot worse storms, and I've seen a lot of people say this online. Like a lot of people in Indianapolis that like I'm friends with on Facebook and stuff, they're like, I don't understand why so many people are without power in Indianapolis when the storms weren't that bad compared to what we've seen. I mean, we've seen some horrific storms in Indianapolis, you know, ice storms, blizzards, and things like that, where the electricity doesn't go out. So it was crazy last night. I think at the top, they said something like 60,000 people in Indianapolis were out of electricity, which, I mean, for, you know, a town that gets hit by storms, that probably doesn't sound like a lot, but for Indianapolis, it's a lot of people. And that just counts Indianapolis, like, where we live. That doesn't count, like, the suburbs, like Carmel, Noblesville, places like that. Greenwood on south, they were out of power, too. So Alex, I was sitting out here, and I was, like, looking through my phone, and, like, looked at her lights come on and stuff like that, and Alex texted me, and he said the electricity just went off. And I was like, oh, are you kidding me? I was like, now I'm gonna have to wait to get my vlog up. Because I knew it was, like, a long vlog. So I was like, I'm gonna have to wait to get my vlog up now. Usually when our electricity goes out, it goes out for, like, an hour or two. Caroline texted me last night because she went to some event, some fundraiser, and she was like, when she got home, she texted me and she said, do you guys have power? And I said, no, we've been out since like 10 till 5. This was right at 10 till 5 that the power went out. And so she said, oh, we're fine, but the people that we're sitting next to at this event, she went with like her business partner, and she said the people we were sitting next to, they've been without electricity, so I just wanted to check because they live in your area. This was at like 11 o'clock. And so today, so Caroline kept on checking in with me. She was like, there seems to be, like, everybody in Indianapolis is without power. She's like, that's all I'm seeing online or whatever. Then she's like, you might think about getting a generator. I'm like, we do not need a generator, okay, for a 1,200-foot condo. Like, we just don't. I mean, it sounds ideal. Like, I was texting my sponsor last night. You know, my sponsor's got 3 little dogs, and she's, like, out in the middle of nowhere, right? And she's, like, kind of not scared of anything. And so I saw that she put up on something on Facebook last night about, like, am I the only one that's not without power? And she was like, because we were talking about gratitude last night, and she posted something, and she was like, I'm so grateful that it's just electricity. Like, we're even, you know, blessed to have electricity. She was like, and I'm thankful that these small annoyances teach me how grateful I am for the other things, like being alive and having a home and things like that. And we could be worse in the path of the storm. There's people that are much hurt than that. So I reached out to her. She and I were like talking last night about this because I was like, what are you doing? She's like, I'm feeding the dogs by flashlight right now. And I was like, oh, okay. And so there were, like, a lot of people, and she said to me on the phone, she's like, I'm actually on my, like, before you called, I was, like, on my phone looking at generators on Amazon. I go, well, one's not going to come out here quick enough for that. She goes, yeah, but next time. Like, in this, like, in 16 years of me living in this condo, this is the first time it's ever been like this. So anyway, I feel like Caroline, she had her electricity. Tanya had her electricity. Half of our neighbors had their electricity. So anyway, that was at, like, 10 till 5. So I went inside, and because my computer, and I know any IT people out there are going to tell me that this is completely wrong, but I leave it plugged in 24 hours a day. So apparently that wears down the battery. So anytime that, like, the electricity goes out, or the plug is uncharged, like, the battery goes from 100 to 0 in 2 seconds flat. So it wasn't like I could continue to do work on my computer, because I was like, okay, well, if it got done rendering, which it didn't, it was at the halfway mark of rendering when the electricity went out. And so I'm, like, trying to, like, plug all these different things in there to see, like, if the charger will work. It says too much. What did it say? It said this thing requires too much or whatever. And so I was trying all these different ways, and I was like, because if I can get it rendered and I can get it done and I can get my computer to stay up, then I can, like, maybe use a hotspot to, like, upload it, and then eventually it'll get up on hotspot on my phone. So, but then everything just went down. So I was like, well, it's not going to be that bad. I mean, it's going to be like maybe, you know, an hour, 3 hours max. Like, you know, people were saying that the storms were going to come. It's going to be like 3 hours max. Like, we can deal with that. And then I'll get the vlog up at, like, if I have to get it up at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, like, that's fine. I mean, at this point, it was like 5:30, you know, when I was, like, on the computer working. So I was like, worst case scenario, 8:39, the electricity comes back on. Finish rendering it. It'll take me an hour to upload. And then I'll get it up before midnight. Well, the electricity never came back on. And at first they started like emailing updates about how they were working on it. There's actually people that are being really, really critical, and they're saying that like when the sun went down, they like stopped working on it. I don't know if that's true or not like that. I will say, and I walked down here, there were people, because there's like a, what do you call it? A panel down by a tennis courts, and they were working on it last night. So I know that that's not necessarily true. I know that the electric company, I was going to get my phone and read you my text from my neighbors, because she first said transponder, and then I was like, what is she talking about? And she goes, oh no, not transponder, transformer. She goes, I meant transformer. We heard 2 of them blow last night, and apparently right up from us, like a huge one blew. And so like and I don't know what that means. If I looked it up last night. It said something about like if they overheat or whatever. But I saw on the news, because I kept my phone charged between like 90 and 100% last night. I was like, everything else can go, the iPad, everything can go, but I gotta, keep my phone. So we were making sure that stuff was charged. So, so I was texting with them, which their like grandkids all stayed over with them last night, and they haven't stayed in like forever. And at like 2 o'clock in the morning, he was walking the dog, and I was like taking Boo Radley out, and I saw him and the grandfather, and he said, I said, are you guys doing okay? Are the kids still up? And he was like, no, they're asleep. He's like, they're all like, like camping out for the night. He's like, we tried to make it fun. He was like, I just feel bad. He's like, we had all this stuff planned and we couldn't do any of it because of the electricity. He's like, but there'll be another night, and stuff like that. So I think it was about, well, I tried to like rest a little bit, but I was like waiting for it to come back on. I also didn't want to run down my iPad. Oh, this is what I did. So I went inside and I was like, it's going to be just like 3 hours. Well, I'd started the Golden Bachelorette. So the Golden Bachelorette's an hour and 24 minutes each. So I was like, if I finish both of these, I'll be 3 hours. There's no way the electricity can be down more than 3 hours. And I was like, at that point, if it is, then I'll have like lost like half of my battery in my iPad. I'll just go take a nap at that point, and then when I get up from my nap, the electricity will be back. I can upload my vlog, and then I won't have to worry about my iPad charging and stuff like that. So the wind was so bad last night. I mean, you could hear it inside of our house. I mean, for hours on end, the wind was really, really bad. And then it just kind of stopped, and then it started up again like 2 hours later. So I was asking her, because I said, so Boo was completely fine yesterday. Another night, thank God, seizure free, another night. But the poor little guy literally paced from probably 8:30 until like 6:37 this morning. I mean, he would stop a little bit. The thing is, it was different that I noticed, because we were both up with him at different times. But he was downstairs with me most of the time. So at one point, Alex was like, I'm so exhausted, I have to go to sleep. I was like, just go to sleep. He can stay down with me, and I'm going to watch TV. So he just kind of like paced around, stuff like that. So, and I couldn't really see him, so I had to like, his eyesight is fine, because he was like, had no problem maneuvering himself around last night in the dark. And so I had these kitchen things over, because like the lights from across the street, they kind of like shined in a little bit, but over here it was like pitch black. So we really didn't have any light on at all, except for the flashlight and my phone. But the thing that was different last night, like, he ate a lot. Like, I would take him out, and then he would, like, trot around, and he would, like, go look over here and sniff. And he was, like, how he was, like, 2 or 3 weeks ago. He paced a lot. I mean, he paced for, like, hours on end. But then he would, like, sit for a little bit, and then he would get up, and he would pace a little bit. But it wasn't, like, how he was a week ago. It wasn't, like, how he was when he just, like, I don't really know how to explain it. Like, when he was pacing before, it was like, you kind of couldn't, like, stir him from it. It was just like, he was, like, on a mission. It wasn't like that last night. Like, I would give him treats, and he was eating a lot of treats. He had a lot of food last night. And then he was, like, just kind of sniffing around the kitchen, and then he'd come over to me, and I'd scratch underneath his chin, and then he'd, like, whatever. So at some point, I texted her, and I was like, we were texting back and forth about, because she was like, can you believe this isn't back on yet? And she was like, have you heard any news? And I was like, no. And so she kept on reporting it. So she was telling me at one point, like, we like walked down there to see like what electricity was on, because half the neighborhood was on and half of the neighborhood was off. So we didn't really know. Somebody down there did have a generator though in that neighborhood, because we could hear it last night. It was super, super loud. So anyway, I said to her, I was like, how's your dog doing? And she's like, she's acting crazy tonight. Like, she is like like just nonstop walking. I was like, Boo is too. So I don't know. It might have been about the storms too. Boo has acted. He's the only out of the 3 of the dogs that has acted weird about the storms in the past. He doesn't really do this anymore, and I don't know if it's like in the bedroom he can't really hear the thunder. But before, like, he would shake, like when we had storms, and would like crawl up my chest. So he's always kind of had a weird reaction to storms. I don't know if that's what happened last night, but there were long periods where it wasn't storming. There was long periods where it was just like calm like this. The yard and the streets this morning were like, I mean, there were twigs and stuff everywhere, and we were all picking it up and whatever. So I sat down there and I watched The Golden Bachelorette, and I watched the first 2 episodes of it. You guys, I just tell you, like, I think at that point, I think Alex was still up. He kind of like slept for a little bit, got up for a little bit, slept for a little bit, got up for a little bit. So, because I said to him at one point, he said something to me, and I said, I think that was before Boo started pacing. Because Boo started pacing, I went upstairs to lay down and take a nap about 8:30. And Alex went downstairs to like eat some hummus because he was afraid. He was like, if the electricity doesn't come back on soon, he's like, I don't want this hummus to go bad. So he ate this hummus, and he took Boo down with him. From that point, Boo was kind of up. Before that, he was asleep. So he was upstairs with, I think he was upstairs with Alex during then. I can't really remember. Anyway, but like at one point, Alex asked me something, and so like I took my AirPod on, and I go, what? And he goes, you're crying, or something like that. And I said, this show, The Golden Bachelorette, like I felt the same way about The Golden Bachelor, but The Golden Bachelorette, first of all, I wasn't really sure what I thought about Joan as a pick, but I love her. I absolutely love her. Like I fell in love with her like 10 minutes into watching it, number one. Number two, if you've ever watched The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, The Golden Bachelor and The Golden Bachelorette are a completely different story. I mean, it's like, they are so nice, and they treat each other so well, and like, if the people get, like, you know, they're not picked, like, they're hurt, but they're not like devastated about it, and they're like real thankful for their times and stuff like that, of being there, and all. I mean, I kind of was like, it was interesting to me how they were gonna, like, all the women living together. I don't know, maybe it's just from my, like, growing up, you know, like, my mom would, you know, 4 or 5 women staying together somewhere, it was like never, it was like back in college days, they would say, or whatever, but so it's kind of like, how are they going to do all these like 60 to 70-year-old men stay in this mansion together? But they do just fine, and they all get along, and like one of them's doing the other guys. This one guy, Pascal, he's like from France, he owns a hair salon in Chicago and whatever. I like him, but he like has never done his own laundry, so he's like paying this other guy to do his laundry. He's paying him $100 a load to do his laundry. And this one guy cooks, and I don't know, they're just really sweet. And there was this part on the 2nd episode, I won't ruin it for you, but I will say, if you haven't watched it, and you didn't watch The Golden Bachelor, do not miss out on this. I mean, it's going to be like 10 episodes total. It's fantastic. It's very emotional. And there was a scene where, like, all of their kids, like, sent in, so that she could see, like, their kids. All their kids sent in videos. It was just the sweetest thing ever. And, like, you know, most of these guys have either, like, lost spouses that have passed away, or they've, like, divorced, and then, like, but most of them have lost spouses. Joan's spouse passed away. I don't know, it was just really, really sweet. I will say this, and I won't tell you, like, what happens and who goes home or who doesn't. I have a couple favorites so far, but I will tell you, if you're watching it, okay, so Susan was my favorite from last season. I don't know that I necessarily think that Susan was good for Gary Jerry. Did you guys see that Gary Jerry is going to make an appearance on The Golden Bachelorette? Can somebody please explain that to me? That he has been exposed as such a fraud, and he and Teresa got divorced like a month after they got married, or 3 months after, I think a month after they got married. Why is he coming on The Golden Bachelorette to give Joan any advice? Like, that is such a bad look. They should not be doing that. Especially since she was on The Golden Bachelor and he was The Bachelor. And he's like, they show a scene where he's like, are you sure that the man that you're looking for is here? And I'm like, and I'm sure that this is going to be the way that they're going to redeem the whole situation between he and Teresa or something like that to save the franchise. I don't think that one bad apple ruins a bunch. I'm not that person, and I'm just going to tell you, I will watch The Golden Bachelor next time. We want to get my mother-in-law on it so bad. We want to get Alex's mom on it so bad on The Golden Bachelor. But Susan was my favorite from last season. I just loved her. She reminds me of my friend Valerie. It's funny because Valerie texted me one night. She's like, when we were watching it, she was like, who's the one that reminds me of you? And I'm like, Susan. She's like, oh, that's her boyfriend told her that's who reminds me of her too. It's like, she looks like her, kind of. Their hair color is different, but like the same hairstyle. And they look like they're built the same, and their humor is the same. And I don't know, it's just like, anyway, I love Susan so much. But if you watch this season, at first I kind of thought he was cheesy, because he comes in singing, and his name's Jack. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Jack, who sings, and he also cooks. He makes her, like, this meal. He makes her, like, I can't remember what he makes her, but, like, he's a fantastic cook. He makes her, like, asparagus with hollandaise sauce and some, like meat deal or whatever. So I'm, like, watching him. He's, like, doing cannonballs in the pool and stuff like that. I'm like, this guy, like, this is where, like, they need to do, like, a, like, bachelor, like, it's, like, well, basically, do you think they'll do a Bachelor in Paradise? A Golden Bachelor in Paradise? Oh, my God, that would be fantastic, wouldn't it? Oh, my God, a Golden Bachelor in Paradise. I would live for that. Okay. But anyway, I mean, Bachelor in Paradise is so messy. It's like with all the leftovers from the other shows. But anyway, so I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh my God, Jack and Susan would be so perfect together. I don't know why I thought that. But anyway, so I watched that, and I got done with those. But I'm, like, crying through the whole thing. Okay, I'll tell you who my favorites are so far. I can't remember his name. It's the guy that she went to Disneyland with. But I have to be honest with you, I like him, but I don't think he's the perfect fit for her. He seems very standoffish. And then, so I tell you what's so funny. So, Zachary Michael was texting me, and he asked me, and this was, like, in the middle of the Boo stuff, and he was like, and he, like, didn't know about the Boo stuff yet, and he was like, something about Taylor Dane on The Golden Bachelorette. Well, I hadn't watched it yet, and so I didn't know. And then, like, he turned around and he texted me, he's like, oh my God, I didn't know about Boo, is Boo okay, blah, 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 whatever. He's one of the sweetest guys in the entire world. Go watch his newest video. I just send lots of love and positivity to Zach, and he's been going through it for a while now, and I just feel so bad about. He's just a really, really nice guy. So anyway, I texted him back and I said no. I said, like, it was nice. Like, I needed that little lighthearted exchange in the middle of all this stuff with Boo Radley. But I didn't know what he was talking about. And he was like, oh, Taylor Dane's on. Because I love Taylor Dane. You know, the singer. I was a singer in my videos and stuff. Like, tell it to my heart. Tell me I'm the only one. Actually, I think that's the song that she sings in it. So anyway, Taylor Dane makes an appearance. Well, Jordan, who is from Chicago, I love this man. I don't know why. Well, first of all, some of these men on The Golden Bachelorette are so good looking. There's like 4 of them that are like, I'm like, ooh, they are hubba hubba. They are good looking men. And Jordan's one of them. He's really good looking. And he seems just really, really nice and stuff. But then you find out, she almost kind of seems kind of off-put by this a little bit. You find out that he went on a date with Taylor Dane, which is so random. I'm like, she's on the show. Like, don't you think they would have, like, fact-checked that out? Like, if any of them had gone on dates with celebrities. So like, they kind of, like, The Bachelor's getting accused of, like, not vetting people out and stuff like that. You think that might be something like the one musical singer that you might have. You might want to ask the guys, have you ever, like, gone on a date, or do you have any interaction with her whatsoever? And he might raise his hand and be like, yeah, I went on a date with her. Like, but it's funny, the interchange is funny, because he, like, asks her, he's like, do you remember me? And she's like, yeah, I remember you, but, like, I guess the date was, like, 5 minutes or something. I don't know what a 5-minute date is, but anyway. So I watched that last night, I'm, like, crying, I'm, like, bawling, I'm, like, this is, like, I'm, like, at this point, I'm, like, I don't know if this is the Golden Bachelorette, or if what I have gone through with, like, Boo Radley and no sleep, and just, like, day after day of just, like, I feel like I've been up for, like, 15 hours, or 15 hours. I feel like I've been up for, like, 15 days straight at this point, right? So I go upstairs, and I'm like, I'm going to lay down for a little bit. And I set my alarm for 9:45, because I was like, from like 8:30 to 9:45, because I was like, the electricity has to be on. I mean, at this point, we're going, I mean, I said to Alex, we were like in bed, and I'm like, 5, 6, 7, 8. I go, do you realize we're going on almost 4 hours without electricity out? Like, we've never had our electricity out before for 4 hours. And he's like, I know, it's kind of crazy. And she's texting me, and they're texting me and stuff like that, so. Because we're trying to figure it out at this point. Like, the neighborhood tax is not going up yet at this point, right? So we're trying to figure it out between the 3 of us. Like, we must just be on the grid back there, because when I looked out, everybody down here had electricity. Now, when we walked down here, what we realized was, past my neighbors, my friends in the corner, the next 3 or 4, they didn't have electricity. It's so random. We have no idea. Like, we know the grid now. We, like, know which people do. But, like, my neighbor across the street, like, they had... My neighbor across the street, the griller and the gardener, and the one in the corner, they had electricity all night long. She was texting me. She's like, are you guys all right over there? Do you need to charge anything? I was like, no, we're good. She was really sweet. They were checking on us. And she was like, well, you guys can come over here if you, like, need, like, you know, to place to sleep or whatever. Mel, actually, she was like, did you check into it? Today, she was like, did you check into a hotel? I was like, no. Mel's doing great, by the way, with her dental stuff. So I was like, no, we didn't check into a hotel. I mean, this was the thing. It wasn't like the temperature was going to change in our house. Like, we had our charges. So it was like we didn't need to leave to go anywhere. We couldn't get out of the garage anyway. I mean, we would have had to manually open and close the garage. But he said, when I talked to him, he said that when he looked across the lake, that, like, all the houses were, like, blacked out. Like, they're, like, all the houses across the lake. So on the other side of the lake, all those houses had no electricity either. But when you look down here, it was like the other side of the street going towards the pool, they all had electricity. All of us on this side, none of us had electricity. It's so weird. And the pool and the tennis court didn't have electricity because there's like lights that come on at night down there. So I laid down. Well, that was when Alex got up and he was like, well, I'm gonna go eat this hummus and whatever. So he got up and he was watching something on his like iPad. And I said, downstairs. And I said, be careful with your iPad because like if it goes dead, you want everything to watch. And he was like, well, I've got this charger. At that point, I was like, I don't think I have a charger in this house. I was like, I just don't. And we have like four chargers in the house, right? And I was like, but I was like, where are the chargers? Like, I don't know where they are. And I remembered, because Mel told me that her husband, for his iPad, he uses this charger, because that was when I was sitting out here a lot. And so she was like, the charger charges ultra fast, it's really great, blah, 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 whatever. And it looks like, I think I showed it in a haul like a year ago. But I don't use it. I hardly ever use it. It's kind of heavy to, so like, go to a music festival, which is when I would use it, or something like that. We used to have the ones that kind of like, were like cylinder. But those don't work with the kind of phones that we have anymore. So anyway, this one has like the little thing on the side, like the cord that like fits into it, and then you can just like fit it into your phone or fit it into whatever. So I came downstairs and I found it. Well, my phone was still at like 80% at that point. I found it, and my iPad was like, when I got done with the Golden Bachelorette, my iPad was at like 75%. So I was like, okay, I'm good. I mean, it's got to go on at like midnight or 1, right? And then I can just charge all this stuff. So I went downstairs and I found the charger, and I like turned it on, and it was at like, you could see, because it's like quarters, like in a circle, and so you could see it was like almost like 100% full, and I was like, okay, it's like 90%. I was like, that's good, that'll charge my phone throughout the night. The other chargers I couldn't find. I was like, where are all these chargers? And Alex is like, I don't know. He's like, I've got my one that I take with me to work every day. He was like, so I've got that one's fully charged and whatever. So at this point, I was just kind of like, I gotta just like let go of it. I don't know when. I put up a statement on the Vloggerinos group and also in the community tab. A couple people texted me, and I just want to say this again. I feel like I've said this a couple times, but I just want to make sure that you guys know. I'm not gonna leave people hanging, even if it is like something, especially like on the heels of like me coming out and talking about Boo Radley. I know you guys have been so supportive and loving and kind about Boo Radley. I'm not gonna like, if something happens to Boo Radley, I can tell you right now, I'm not going to just, like, for the next 3 days not post videos. I mean, I might not post videos, but I will put out some kind of statement. And it won't be on Twitter. I can tell you that. I don't post anything on Twitter. I'll post something on Instagram, and I'll probably post something in my community tabs, like on my vlog channel, my Peter Monn channel, and then in the Vloggerinos group. And I'll just probably say, you know, whatever happened. And hopefully, we don't have to make that statement anytime soon. But I just don't want people to worry about me. So at some point, I put out a statement in the Vloggerinos group and on the community tab of my vlog. And it was the same statement, and it said something like, just want to let you guys know that, like, we're out of electricity. And you guys were so sweet. I just want to say I really, really appreciate it. And so, but at that point, I really thought, that was like earlier, I feel like, because at that point I was like, I just don't want people to worry. I feel like maybe that was like right before I laid down or something. I don't remember when I posted it, but I just didn't want people to worry. And I thought, surely I'll wake up, and like at that point, I think it was when I laid down, I thought, okay, the earliest I'm going to get it up now is going to be like 12 or 1. And I was like, okay, that's fine. It's later than I usually do, but I didn't want people to start checking for it and worry. But I still got comments after that because people didn't see it or they didn't look at the community tab and stuff like that. My friend Valerie, she don't even look at the community tab. She'll be like, you didn't post a vlog tonight. I'm like, girl, I posted on my community tab. I haven't. Actually, I have posted a video every single day except for last night, which is why I'm posting 2 today since April 1st. So, gotta keep it going, gotta keep it going. But I'm still posting my yesterday's vlog. So, we're keeping it going all the way through. A vlog for every day of September. Okay, so, so Alex went downstairs and he was like watching some show, and he was like, it's not going to be out that long. I mean, it's been out long enough. They're going to fix it, you know? Plus, we had seen like trucks going through the neighborhood and stuff like that. That was earlier though. Like after a while, like I didn't see, I mean, we saw the guys down at the pool and stuff like that, but after a while I don't see anything. So, So I tried to lay down. I really couldn't sleep that well at all. And I had the little fan, the travel fan, hooked up to the battery. But I had 2 batteries. And one was 50% charged and the other one was like 100% charged. And I was like, well, what if this does go all night long? And then I have no fan to sleep with when I'm ready to go to bed, not just take a nap. So I laid there for a while. And then I was like, you need to get up. You need to get up and save this battery. So I got up. And I like turned off the batteries because I was like, I want to save these in case I have to sleep, you know, with the fan later. Drinking my coffee. That camera stopped. The battery stopped. All of our ice started melting last night, so I got rid of all of our ice. I was like, okay, it's going to be like a tub of water in here, so I got to get rid of that. We didn't really have that much food to go bad, so I saw a lot of people online posting about. Do you know what was really sad is I saw people posting stuff, because I did look up like the electric company on Twitter, and I saw like on Facebook too, because I wanted to see if they were putting updates or anything, and people were posting stuff about like, I was like, thank God with Boo we don't have to do this. Like, they said that they had like diabetic medicine for their cats and stuff like that, and like somebody coming back and said, well, it'll be good for 2 days on refrigerator, and then other people were saying things about like machines that they have to sleep in at night, that people's moms couldn't charge their oxygen machines. Like, that was one of the things my sponsor and I were talking about, is like, okay, like, let's live in gratitude for this moment. That's not our worry. Like, our biggest worry is, you know, like, just this. Like, I mean, it could be so much worse, right? And I like read those things. I just felt so bad. I think that kind of like also just kind of was like, Peter, pull it in a little bit, okay? Like, you're gonna be fine. So I got up, and when I got up, Alex went upstairs, and then Boo was pacing upstairs a lot. Part of the problem was, I think he's used to the night light now. So he can't see, because there's no light at this point, right? Like, it's 9 o'clock at night, and there's no light, so he can't see. And so, but the thing about him last night was when he was pacing, like I said, it wasn't like he would go like down the stairs, he would run back up the stairs. He was fine. It's like, this is like Boo Radley from like 2 weeks ago. He paced so long though that he kind of just wore himself out. Finally, he just fell asleep, not even on his bed. He fell asleep with this rug in front of our back door here. He finally just like went around like he was like in his bed. He like went like that with his nose, and then he just laid down on the rug. And so I was like, I waited like 10 minutes to see if he was asleep, and then I went and I picked him up, and I took him upstairs. He was like a little kid. His like head was like this. Like, he was so asleep. And I went upstairs, and we had like his little purple bed. We had it like next to the what do you call it, the cabinet in the bedroom, the dresser, Alex's dresser. And so I put him in the little purple bed and like covered him up with a blanket and stuff so I could see him. And then I was like, okay, you need to go to bed. That was late last night. I mean, that was really late. It was like when the sun was coming up. So I watched The Golden Bachelorette. What else did I watch? So, I did the hotspot to my phone. So when I was watching The Golden Bachelorette, I downloaded a bunch of shows. Like, I downloaded all of The Midnight Club on Netflix. And then I downloaded Storm of the Century, the Disney show. And then I downloaded some documentary. I feel like I've already seen it. It's about some guy that gets accused of murder, and he uses the defense as like the devil. The devil made him do it, I think is what it's called, or something like that on Netflix. I feel like I haven't watched it. So I downloaded that. I downloaded a couple other things, because I was like, I just want to make sure I have these shows downloaded. Interestingly enough, my iPad didn't really die that fast. I thought it would die pretty fast. I thought I remembered it. You know, maybe it's because it's, you know, a newer iPad, but the battery, like, it was slow to die. So, I listened to, so I'm like halfway through, well, I'm more than halfway through with the true crime book, that we're not doing the true crime book club anymore tomorrow. So I was like, I'm going to pause that. I'm going to get back to God of the Woods by Liz Moore, which was Peter's book club for August. I was like, I've got to get caught up with these books. So I listened to like an hour of that last night, but then I was like, I don't want to burn out my phone on this. And everybody was texting me constantly too about like, because there was, you know, a lot of people that did have electricity that were worried about it. A lot of people that didn't, you know, Mel and Nikki and Tanya, and everybody was texting me. So, I wanted to like save my phone. So I listened to the audiobook, and then I came inside, and I was like, I'm going to watch Storm of the Century. So I started watching Storm of the Century. I feel like, okay, I feel like I started this. I think in the basement, I literally have like the double VCR tape edition of this. It's on Disney and it's also on Hulu. It was really actually pretty good. But you can see how like, you know, like when you watch like old shows, you can see that it's like pulled from like a videotape that they like on TV, like where it's like the box is like this. It's like that. But it's not bad. I will tell you, the show I thought was really, really good. I think it's the Stephen King show. It reminds me a lot towards the end of the short story The Lottery by Shirley Jackson, or the novella. It reminds me a lot of that. I feel like there was a couple different things that Stephen King pulled this from. I felt like he pulled it from Shirley Jackson's The Lottery. I feel like he pulled it from a couple different stories, but it was good, I have to tell you. So it was like an hour and a half each episode, and it was 3 episodes. It's with that Tim Daly guy that was on that show Wings. Do you guys remember that show? I think that was the name of the show, Wings, from like years ago. I don't know anything about him today, but anyway. So it's about this small town, a small island called Falls, I think it's Falls Island or something, that's like off the coast of Maine, which is like, you know, where Stephen King, most of his stuff happens. And they're supposed to get hit with like the storm of the century. Well, when it starts, it's like this small town, he's like the sheriff of the town. The small town is like getting prepared for the storm. And so this older lady like lives in this big house, and she's like sitting there and she's watching the news, and she's just knocking the door. And this is like the first 5 minutes. It will not ruin the show for you. And this guy like kills her. And so then it's about who is this guy. It's very like paranormal, I will tell you that. Somewhat biblical, actually, but it's really, really good. I thought I would like watch like 20 minutes of it and get bored, and I didn't. I watched the whole thing last night. I watched all 3 episodes of it and finished it last night. And then after that was when I went to bed. So I watched 4.5 hours of Storm of the Century last night. It was like a mini-series back in the day. Remember we had the little 3-part mini-series? But it was good. I remember when I worked in treatment, like, I feel like The Shining was one of them. Like, we had a couple mini-series like that, and then, like, in between, like, groups and stuff like that, they would watch it, and they would watch, like, a half an hour of it, and then they couldn't wait to, like, come back and watch it. I remember The Shining, the remake of it that they did, which I kind of be interested to go back and watch that one, too. I talked about that not too long ago in my vlog. I might go back and do that. I remember that. What was the other one, too, that we watched? I mean, our treatment facility didn't have, like, the greatest filmography in the world, the greatest. I mean, we had probably, like, 10 movies. And then, like, on top of that, like, 10 recovery movies. And they were, like, Clean and Sober. I love that movie, Clean and Sober. Somebody asked me not too long ago what I thought about it. I think it's a good recovery movie for its time. I mean, every recovery movie that I've watched has things that I, like, agree or don't agree with. But I think it tried. Like, 28 Days, I don't know that, like, is 100% accurate whatsoever about the treatment experience. Or, I mean, one of the things they don't really show in 28 Days is that that's a rather ritzy treatment facility with Sandra Bullock. But it's a good movie. I mean, it's like, the basic core recovery stuff is, like, good. I mean, most treatment facilities, unless you're paying, like, $40,000 to $100,000 for 30 days, do not look like 28 Days. They just don't. I mean, they're pretty rough. I mean, most of the treatment facilities that I know in Indianapolis are, like, and that have waiting lists, are literally, like, metal beds with, like, they look like cots. I mean, it's, and we're talking about, like, Salvation Army, you know, we're talking about recovery centers, halfway houses. There's, like, nice halfway houses. But anyway, okay, 28 Days. What are the other ones that I like? Oh, When a Man Loves a Woman. I love that movie so much. Because that movie really deals with, like, what happens when you get out of treatment. And I think, like, Meg Ryan's relationship with Philip Seymour Hoffman in that movie, like, you don't really get that, I don't think, unless you're sober. Like, that connection that you have with somebody else that's sober. Because, like, there's a part where Andy Garcia, her husband, that starts going to Al-Anon, he says to her, like, why don't you tell me those things? And she says, because there are just some things that you won't get. And I think that that's true. I think that there's just some things that, like, I mean, even having been sober as long as I have, there are things that, like, if I said it to Alex the way that I feel it versus the way that I would say it to, like, a person in recovery, like, he wouldn't get it the same way. Because he doesn't think the same way that I do as far as a person, like, with addiction and recovery. I think that movie is fantastic. I really would recommend When a Man Loves a Woman if you have a spouse or a loved one in sobriety. And again, like, these movies are older, so, Oh, what's the movie that I watched a couple years ago with Glenn Close? I can't remember the girl's name in it. She's fantastic too. Is it Mila Kunis? I think it's called 4 Days or something, where her daughter's waiting to get put on, I think it's Suboxone. And she has to like detox and get her levels down so that she can get on it. I think it's Suboxone that she's getting on or something like that. That movie is, oh my God, that movie is so powerful. I don't really remember a lot. I mean, I remember like it was powerful, but I don't remember specific things about it. But anyway, yeah, we didn't have great movies. I mean, especially like for recreational movies that were kept in like the recreational area, that were run by the rec director that I don't think cared about the movies. There was like, what was that movie with Angelina Jolie and Winona Ryder? Oh my God. People always wanted to watch that movie over and over and over and over and over again. What was that movie called? About the psychiatric facility. It's really good. It's actually a true story. I think it's by Jan Karen, who wrote the book. Whoopi Goldberg plays the nurse in it. Why can't I remember that movie? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It's a great movie. Her Last Chance with Kelly Martin. It's really cheesy, but it's a really good recovery movie. It's actually probably one of the most accurate recovery movies because it's about this girl and she's like in high school and she goes to treatment and like all her friends party and then she gets out and like she relapses a couple times. Jenna Elfman, if I remember correctly, plays her sponsor in it. And there's like a scene where she like calls her and she has like all these pills or cocaine or something and like she's like makes her flush. I was like, that scene is so accurate. Like that, I've been there with other people and their sponsors, or like my sponsor, my first 2 sponsors were very much like that. That movie, Her Last Chance, if you can find it. I haven't watched that movie in years and years and years. I can't think of what that movie is called with, I know some people are shouting it right now. They're like, Peter, it's called this, Peter, it's called that. It's starting to rain. I'm actually going to go inside and I was like, do I need some more coffee? I'm going to go inside and I'm going to like switch stuff out. If the electricity hopefully is still on, I'm going to switch stuff out and like, so I can charge it while I'm still vlogging and then check and see where my vlog is now uploaded, because if it's done, then I'm going to post it and then I will come back and finish this because I just want to make sure I get that done in case the electricity goes out again. So let me go do that really quick and then I will be back. Okay, I'm back. Second day of wearing my glasses. Let me do a little thumbnail. Okay, that is not going to be my thumbnail. That is not going to be my thumbnail. But I actually did put on my contacts late last night. Well, not late last night, but it was after I took my nap. I was like, I want my contacts on so I can see what's going on in the world. I mean, I can see what's going on, you know, whatever. I will say what's weird about this is that I don't wear glasses regularly. So somebody please tell, I guess I could ask my husband, but somebody please tell me this. I feel like with my glasses versus like with my contacts, my hair look, you guys, I like, as soon as I get done with this vlog and all this stuff gets done, I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to take a nice long shower. And, oh, you know, that was the other thing I could have done, is I could have put my stuff in the dryer. I did a load of wash as soon as the electricity came back on, I like put a load of wash in. But whatever, it can wait. I'm going to take a long, hot shower, and I'm going to put on, that was the other thing. Oh, I didn't say that. So, I didn't even realize that until like halfway through the night, because we were so focused on the, what do you call it? We were so focused on the electricity. But then I got an email from our gas company that said something about the, like, how many customers were out in Indianapolis. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, no, like, I don't remember the gas ever going out. People were saying like that, oh shoot. What did I just do? I just hurt myself somehow. But anyway, I have like a little like blood blister or something. Look at that. But like in this like text thing in the neighborhood, people were saying stuff about like their phone lines, like their cell phones not working and stuff like that, them not having any, our cell phones were completely fine all night long. Which is why I was able to like get online and stuff like that, thank God. But what was I saying? Oh, the gas. So I didn't even realize this until like halfway through the night. And I got the email and I was like, what is this? Like, I don't remember the gas ever being affected, but I did remember from the other night that I thought it was just the furnace with the gas. And I said this to Tanya and the other, not last night, but I said this to her like the other day with like the meter and all this kind of stuff. And she was like, yeah, you're talking about how it's just like the furnace, but don't you know that like your water is affected by that? I was like, whatever. So anyway, I went over and like I turned the water on like all the way hot, and like our kitchen water goes like from cold to hot like very quickly, and it never got hot. It was like, I was like, oh my god, it's something. So that's fine too. So I'm gonna take a long hot shower tonight and put on some clean pajamas and all this kind of stuff. I did put on a clean shirt for you guys today, though. Do you feel very lucky? So let me tell you, I just went inside. Let me tell you what the scene is. Okay, so the scene is that Alex is sitting inside with his AirPods, charging his AirPod. Everywhere you look on our counters and everywhere, there are chargers plugged in, charging stuff right now. The vlog still has 32 minutes left to upload on my phone. The Vest battery, I forgot how long it takes to charge those things. It's still on like the first dot. And I've got 2 of those batteries to charge. I mean, hopefully we won't have to worry about it. Hopefully it'll be fine. But I'm gonna, from now on, like I'm keeping all this stuff constantly going. All the chargers are gonna be charged. Oh, this was the other thing. So last night we were like using our phones, and I said, for a flashlight, you know, your phone. And I was like, I don't want to like, I mean, we were using it a lot. I mean, it was dark. Our house is dark inside. And then coming out here, it's dark outside too. The lights from across the street, you could kind of see them a little bit inside, but it wasn't like bright enough. That's why I had those open, so like you could kind of see a little bit of light, but it really wasn't doing much. I mean, it was really dark, and there's a lot of trees in our neighborhood and stuff like that. So even to like take Boo Radley out, like I had my flashlight on my phone. Well, I was like, I'm afraid I'm gonna run out of this flashlight. Well, I knew we had several flashlights in this house, right? And I kept on thinking about this one, because this is my favorite flashlight. I think I got this at like the Dollar Tree or something, but see, look, you like turn it on, and like this goes on. If you hit it twice, this goes on, and this. So I love it so much. But anyway, and then it goes brighter one more time. So Alex was like, we have flashlights up in the pantry, but they don't have any batteries in them. And I was like, well, we have tons of batteries. So I looked, and before I even got to them, I was like, I bet they need those huge, like, what are they called, like, the D batteries or whatever. I was like, I bet those are what they need. Because I remember buying like a pack of, like we were supposed to have some winter storm, and I can remember buying a pack of like 4, like 2 small ones, and like, I have no idea where those are. But then like 2 big ones, 2, you know, like really nice big ones. But I remember that they took like this, like those big batteries. So I look up there, and they're, you know, I pull this one down, and it's like, of course it needs completely empty, has no batteries. So I was like, I know that this, I remember, this is like the one I always use. I was like, I know this is in the house somewhere. So I'm like going through drawers in the dark with the flashlight from my phone. And I'm like going, and finally I find this, okay, in the back of one of the kitchen drawers. And, which thank God I've like cleaned out, that they're not that bad anymore. And so like I knew it was in this one drawer. So I like went back there. Well, it had no batteries. Well, thank God I had bought all these batteries from Amazon a while ago. So yeah, I replaced all the batteries in here. It's my little Amazon batteries. And we have 30 more in case we need them. I know the electricity is probably not going to go back out again. Look, you can even hang this if you need to. But when I would give Boo Radley his treats last night, I would like just like put this on the end of the counter so he could just sit there and he could see. And then when he was eating his dinner, I like put it on the end of the table. So I just like put it like that. See? And then it would just like shine down on his food. So he could see his food last night and stuff like that. And then when he was pacing around the living room when I was watching my show, I would just like, with this part of it, I would just go. So he could see where he was going and stuff like that. Anyway, so yeah, Storm of the Century kind of reminds me of one of those shows, but it's weird. Like I remember being in treatment and like different shows that we would watch, like that I never watched before, or like there was like a miniseries that came on while we were in there. I don't even remember what it was, but anyway, I do remember The Shining was like one of the shows that like everybody would just want to watch over and over and over again. And so I feel like if that was with that no, it wasn't with him. I think it was the guy from Northern Exposure. Was Tim Daly in Northern Exposure? I don't remember. But anyway, I never watched Northern Exposure. So I might watch that one. Because I did like Storm of the Century. It was good. So anyway, I watched that last night. Was texting a bunch of people. Charging my phone. Trying to keep my phone at like 100% the whole time. So if it like got down a little bit. Here's my neighbor across the street. He's probably going to get his mail. Charging my phone and all this kind of stuff. To keep it at like 100%. And he like looked over and he went like that. I just said like 1,000 times in a row. Yeah, I just like sat there and like kept on charging it and whatever. And then it was like one person by one would like drop off. They'd be like, okay, going to sleep now. Hope you get your power back soon. I'd be like, okay, I'm still up with no power. I do like these glasses. I think these glasses are cute. They're super comfortable too. So, I like them. I like them like... Oh, that's what I was going to say. With glasses versus contacts. With contacts, I can see really well at night. With glasses, it's a little bit different. I noticed it more with my Warby Parker glasses. With these, I can... But these are, like, brand new. I can, you know, see them a little bit better, but I still don't see great with my glasses. And it's not, like, the shine of the glasses or anything like that. It's just, like, I feel like with my contacts, I see better at night. So... I do kind of like reaching over and just putting on my glasses though, and then not having to like, I mean, usually I put my contacts in first thing. I haven't been doing that since I got these glasses a couple days ago. So yeah, so then when that was done, I mean, I took Boo Radley out last night, probably, gosh, so many times last night. He had so many treats. He had like 2 bags of food. He was eating like crazy. So he paced a lot last night. He finally just like fell asleep on this rug and right next to his bed. At one point, like I put him in his bed and I was just like patting him and I was like, it's okay, Boo Radley. It was weird though, because it wasn't like the other times, like I said, when he paces, he's like, it's almost kind of like you can't, I don't know how to explain it, like he's on a mission. Like you can't really say anything to him or whatever. Like if I said to him, like when he was pacing last night, I'd be like, hey, Boo Radley, you know, are you doing okay, buddy? And he'd like stop and like look up at me and he'd put his chin out and I rub it. I mean, it was like, he was just normal, but he was just pacing. It was kind of how it was with the storm. So I don't know that it wasn't the storms last night. So... Alex's friend told him that her dog was on the same medication that Boo Radley just started on, and it took her a week to get on, like, normal to the medication. But he did good. So 2 nights without seizures. I'm very, very grateful for that. Very, very grateful for that. And he is, like, sleeping heavy today. Like, really, really sleeping heavy today. So... We've, like, tried to get him up and take him outside a couple times because we're, like, trying to get him. But I'm like, he's got to get some sleep, too. Poor little guy, you know? So, anyway, I will say I was a little worried because the last time that he paced like this was when, the next night was when we were at the emergency vet. So, I'm like, please do not let this be... Like, last night when that happened, I mean, he was fine. But when it happened, I was like... Is tomorrow going to be like a seizure day? Like, I pray to God, I hope it's not. I hope we make it through another night without seizures. I mean, the farther we make it away without seizures, you know, the better chance that, you know, he'll continue to do it. He, like, last night, he seemed back to his normal self. Like, he really did. He was alert. He's, like, looking around and, like, he would notice sounds outside and stuff like that. So, I don't know. Maybe it was just the storms last night. We'll see. Like she said her dog was acting the same way. So, I did notice, like, their dog next door was, like, howling, like, throughout the night, too. Which I never hear. Like, when they take it outside and stuff like that, it howls because it's a beetle boxer mix. Is my neighbor leaving? I haven't seen her today, but I've seen her. Her husband, I've talked to him a couple times. Or did I see her earlier? Now I'm like, I think I saw her earlier. Oh, no, it is her. I haven't seen her today. I saw her husband. What are you doing?
Everything good over there?
Yeah. We finally got our electricity back on.
Yeah, I was looking out last night. There was no electricity down here. There was none behind us. And I thought, all that upgrade they did really work.
Well, it's 56. I think it was 56 or 60,000 people in Indianapolis didn't have electricity last night.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you guys had it though.
Yeah, we did.
You're like one of the only people in the neighborhood that did.
No.
Don't say any names. I'm filming right now.
They had it down there.
Yeah.
They had it down there.
Not on the other side of them. Those.
They had it down there on that side.
But your husband said across the lake.
They didn't have it.
They didn't have it. It was like completely blackout over there.
Yeah.
And all this side, we didn't. And none of us had it. For 24 hours almost. I mean, it was like 10 till 5 and it just came on at like 3 or something.
Did you lose any food?
No, we didn't really have that much food anyway.
That much.
Yeah.
How's Boo?
He's okay. He paced a lot last night. I'm not really sure if it's from the storms, but we're 2 nights without seizures. So,
Oh, good.
you know he loves his missus.
Well, did he get any medicine or
Yeah. Yeah, she gave him medicine for his seizures, Keppra, which is the same thing that I'm on.
Well, I'm glad he's okay. I was kind of worried about him.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
I wasn't worried about you. I was worried about him.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, glad the electricity is back.
Yeah, I've seen your husband more today than I've seen in the last month. He's out here talking to people driving by. Are y'all grilling out tonight?
No, I went out to lunch with my girlfriend.
That's nice that you could get out of your garage today to go to lunch.
Yes, it was. I noticed all the people over there when I came around over there. They were all parked outside.
Are the roads bad outside of here? Like, do you see a lot of tree limbs down and stuff? Yeah.
Yep. Whoops. Here comes the light.
All right, see you later. Ooh, that is a nice car. That was like a matte black with like red undertone, like some like Maserati SUV, dark out windows. I've never seen anything like that before in this neighborhood. Oh, whose did they just pull into down there? Oh, they pulled into a garage. Okay, that's so weird because that's the same condo that we have, and it's like a single guy that owns a construction company that lives down there. He must have got a new car. It's on the other side of my pool crew friends. Well, he's a nice car. But anyway, so yeah, I don't know what. Oh, but then, okay, so I went to sleep. By the time that so then I carried Boo Radley up when the show was over, and like I let him, like, it was interesting because the show ended, and then like he had just like laid down, and so like I let him sleep there for like 10 minutes because I was afraid that if I like woke him up, he'd start pacing again. So I waited until like I knew he was asleep, and then I put my iPad away, put everything away. The kitchen is like spotless. I feel like I've cleaned the kitchen like 5,000 times. Last night I was cleaning the floor and everything because I put treats down, and I clean up the area underneath it and whatever. And so I carried him upstairs and put him into bed. And like part of the problem was upstairs. One of the reasons why I had him downstairs was that with the two windows downstairs, there wasn't like a lot of light coming in, but there was enough that he could kind of like see on the floor, But upstairs, I think he's used to the nightlight. He couldn't see at all because we had no nightlight last night. I actually need to see online, in case this would ever happen again, I need to see, I'm sure there are nightlights that have like, that are run by batteries. So I'm going to get a couple of those. I just want to be prepared for the next time. We have enough chargers and all that kind of stuff, but I want to get like another flashlight. And whatever. I don't need a generator. We don't need a generator. I mean, the chance of us going out without electricity again is, yeah. But, and my iPad never ran out of power, and my phone never did either. So anyway, so when I put him into bed, and in his little purple bed so I could see him on the floor, and then I covered him with blankets. And then I had the travel fan, and I like plugged in the battery that I had. And I fell asleep. I fell asleep pretty quickly. I was kind of surprised. I actually it's like the fan is like, it's round. I did a review of it, and it's round. The thing is, it's just as big as the blue fan that I have that I travel with. The battery just went to the halfway mark. It's just as big as the blue fan that I have, and it's like thicker than the blue fan, and it would probably fit into a corner of a bag, but I don't know that I think it puts out that much air. The other thing is it doesn't have like a traditional like plug, so I don't know. Maybe I'll try it on a next trip or something like that, but we have no trips planned right now. So maybe on the next trip I'll take that and try it. But like for last night it worked. The thing is, it has this long, like you open it like this, and then it has this long rod, and so you can adjust it. It can be like this length, or it can be like 3 feet high. So I literally pulled it right up to next to the bed and had it like right on my face last night because I needed to hear the sound and whatever. But I fell asleep rather quickly last night. I mean, I didn't really I lay down a little bit last night, but I hardly fell asleep, and I've been so stressed, and so I slept like I was out like that. Well, I think it was around noon. I had the fan, like our big fan, I turned it on to like 1 so that or to like the highest one, so that when the electricity came on, the fan would go on, and then I would know that that there's a lot of runners today. It's like very wet and rainy out today. But anyway, that I knew that like the fan would come on high, and then I would know that the electricity was on. So, because it's not like we like keep a bunch of lights on in our house usually anyway. So, at about noon, no, it wasn't noon. It was like, because I had my alarm set to give Boo Radley his medicine at, I set my alarm for 9:50, 9:55 so that we'd give him to him at 10. Alex woke up, he went down and got his medicine, gave it to him. He was asleep in the little bed, so he just like gave it to him in his bed. Then we went back to sleep. I think it was around noon that the electricity came back on, the fan pumped back on. I was like, oh my God, thank God. And like immediately, like 5 minutes later, my neighbor next door texted me. She's like, thank God. And so we're laying there, and like Alex is like, oh my God, I can't believe the electricity is back on. And then 10 minutes later, half an hour, 10 minutes, I think it was like a total of half an hour later, but like 10 minutes after all this, we were talking and stuff, the electricity goes off again. And I was like, all right. And I look over, and as soon as it did, my neighbor next door, she texted me, and she was like, can you believe this? She was like, oh my God, can you believe this? I was like, it's out again. So what was interesting was that after that, I like got up, because I was like, okay, I'm up now. And then I was like, so I went out here, and when I talked to my neighbors next door, they were like, well, our electricity's back on, but we don't have internet access. I was like, but your electricity's back on? And I was like, and they were like, yeah. So I went over and talked to her. Well, at that point, I was talking to my neighbor across the street, and he was like, her husband, and it was like the second time I talked to him, and he was like, are you guys doing okay over there? I was like, we still don't have any electricity. He's like, yeah, well, we do, ha ha ha. Oh, the battery's gonna die. Hold on just a second, let me change this. Okay, I'm back. And he was like, my neighbor across the street, he was like, I was like, yeah, like, we still don't have electricity. He's like, well, we do, huh? I mean, he was being kind of funny about it, but like, I don't think he really got at that point, like, how truly exhausted I was with, you know, no electricity, and being like worried that like, it wasn't coming on anytime soon. And I know that there's people like in our neighborhood that still don't have it, because people are driving around and they're asking people. And so he, so she had parked in her driveway, and she like ran out to get ice real quick, because she's like trying to keep some of her food good, like in a cooler or something like that. And so I was talking to him, and like this van pulled up like in our neighborhood. It was somebody that I know, and she and her daughter were driving around, and he was like, well, he was talking to her, and he said, they still, pointing to me, he was like, they still don't have electricity either. And she's like, you don't have electricity? And I said, no, we've been out since like, it was like, I think that was not the only time. It like came back on at one point, and then it like went right off like 3 minutes later. I was like, we've been out for like, you know, since 10 till 5 yesterday. And she was like, yeah, we have too, exactly the same amount of time. And she was like, we're driving around. She's like, like half the neighborhood still doesn't have electricity. Well, then I saw my neighbor next door. She was coming down the street, and because she couldn't get by because the van was like in the middle of the street. And so like the van moved over, and then she pulled in. And I go, well, I want to see if she's got electricity, because she's coming home. Because at that point they had electricity. And so I was like, well, then we must not all three be on the same thing. And so she pulled in, and she was like, let me go in and look really quick. So she like parked, and we like walked in. She's like, no, I have no electricity. So we were walking back, and she's like, I'm charging my computer in my car. That's why like I wanted to go, and you know, I've been like out here charging. And as soon as she said that, like our carriage lights up here. Now these like in front of our house, like we control, but the ones that from inside, but the ones on like the garage, like they come on like when it gets dark. And so they like flickered on, and then she was like, oh my God, they came back on. And so I said back to her, I was like, I had turned this one on last night, and so I knew if the electricity came back on, I've turned it off now. But I like ran over here, and I said, oh my God, I said to the woman, I said, is my light on above my patio? And I like was running over, and she goes, your light's on. And I was like, oh my God, we've got electricity back. So I told her real quick, I said, I gotta go upload this vlog, I gotta go charge all my stuff, so whatever. So I ran inside, and my neighbor like across the street, he's like, hey, I wanted to ask you. I was like, I'll talk to you in a little bit. I gotta get this, we haven't had electricity, I gotta get this stuff charged in case the electricity goes out again. I gotta make sure I got all my chargers and everything. So anyway, but yeah, I mean, a lot of people were commenting yesterday on my vlog and stuff that they were like, you know, and I know like in the storm and stuff, people have been out of electricity for 3 and 4 days. I mean, it really puts things, when you go through that, and the worst is like, you're worried that your phone is gonna, you know, whatever. And I know like, I'm talking about when the worst is for us, like your phone and your iPad. Like, that's nothing in the grand scheme of things, right? When, like, you know, during, like, really, like, bad hurricanes and storms and things like that, people literally go without electricity for weeks, you know? And it makes you grateful that you even have electricity, you know? I mean, period, end of story. Like, I don't know, it's just, like, my sponsor and I talked about it for a while last night. Just really, she got her electricity back at around noon. When ours came back on and then went off, hers has stayed on. So, yeah, but... crazy 24 hours. So, but I've caught up on all my shows. All I have left to watch is Real Housewives of Orange County, so we'll probably watch that tonight when I'm uploading this video. I don't think that I'm gonna film, and I have to just see how I feel tomorrow. I don't think that I'm gonna film any more videos on this channel today. I mean, at this point now, by the time I'm done, this has been an hour. I started this at like, what? It's gonna be like almost 5. So hopefully the electricity stays on and I can upload this one. And I just want to say, I'd say I appreciate you guys understanding, but it wasn't just that. It was like, I got so many DMs from people that were like, I hope you're okay. I actually today, just like an hour before the electricity came on, incidentally, I put up on my Peter Monn channel, and I think I put it on my Peter Does Stuff channel too, because the last one was my weight loss journey update that I did. And in there I talked a lot about booze, so I didn't want people to worry. And then I posted something on my Instagram as well, where I said that our electricity had been out for almost 24 hours, and that when it came back on, I was going to post the first vlog, and then the next couple days get back to regularly scheduled videos. So today I'm going to post this vlog, hopefully, if the electricity stays on, and the last vlog will be up. And then tomorrow, just kind of depending on how I feel, and what we do and all that kind of stuff, I will, I'll see if I want to film any videos tomorrow. I will definitely film a vlog tomorrow, because my plan is to film a vlog every day since August 1st. Even if it doesn't post on that day, we're going to still post it. You know what I mean? So, that's my plan. So, I will have a vlog tomorrow, but I don't know. I may just wait until Monday and come back and start posting on all my channels on Monday, and then just take tomorrow. And, you know, it's weird because I was saying in my vlog yesterday that, like, once I get started, it's hard for me to stop. And, like, I'm really, like, worried and stressed about Boo Radley. Like, I mean, last night, the pacing was a lot, I'll be honest with you. Like, I was very worried about him. Even though he was normal while he was pacing, I still was like, we're back to the pacing. Because of the storms and stuff like that, I just didn't want to, and I knew that they would be overloaded with stuff at the vet today. I was like, okay, him pacing, he's sleeping now, he's fine. I'm not gonna, like, check with the vet today. So on Monday, I'm gonna call her and be like, is this a side effect possibly of the medication and whatever. She told us with the medication, she goes, you're gonna notice some behavior changes with him. She's like, it's not gonna be drastic, but you're gonna notice some behavior changes with him. So when Alex's friend said that their dog, who's been on this for the last couple years, which is incidentally the same seizure medication that I'm on, said that it took like a week for their dog to, like, was acting all different kinds of ways. So I don't know, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Maybe it was the storms. I have no idea. We'll see how tonight goes. Like I said yesterday, I'm just kind of taking it day by day. Or the day before, I said, you know, I'm just kind of taking it day by day, and praying for good days. But mentally and personality-wise, he seems back to normal. And we've had 2 days without seizures. Like, for me, that's a win. I'll take that any day. So I'm super, super grateful about that. And I have a feeling... I'm feeling more hopeful than I did in talking about it when I was like, you know, because we have to, like, do a reevaluation, like, a week from, you know, the Thursday appointment. And I was like, I felt pretty hopeless. I was kind of like, I was trying to be hopeful. I felt more hopeful on the ride home than I did on the way the tripod fell. But what I was saying was, I mean, I'm more hopeful now than I was, like, on the way home from the vet. I was more hopeful than at going to the vet appointment, and I'm more hopeful now than I was then, because his, like, personality seems like he's back to Boo Radley again. Like, he seems happy, and there's lots of moments where he's laying there and he's, like, looking at his paws, and he's kind of, like, looking at us. And, like, last night, you know, it was like he was kind of, like, looking at Alex, and it's just like he's kind of back to Boo Radley again. So I'm grateful. But you know, it's interesting because, like, I feel like I've tried to say this like 3 times and I keep on forgetting what I'm gonna say, but, like, between all the stress and the worry about Boo Radley, like, I'm really worried about him. Even with a little bit of hope, like, I'm literally taking it day by day, and I'm getting very little sleep. And then with last night, I got very little sleep. And I said in my vlog, I think it was yesterday, that I was like, it's really hard for me when I start filming videos to not just, like, to film just a vlog, or, well, it's if I'm going to do it, I can do just a vlog. But when I start with any of my other 6 channels, like a review video or a Peterisms video or a, Peter Does Stuff video or a drama video, it's like, once I start one, it's like, I might as well just do like 4 or 5 of them. And so, but I also know that I need, like, this is very cathartic for me. I mean, it's all cathartic for me. It was interesting because I was watching Zach's video today. Like I said, go watch it. And he said in there something about, like, and going through tough times, like, it really is helpful to make videos because, like, in those moments you get out of yourself a little bit. And that's so incredibly true. Like, I've said that a lot in my last couple videos, and that is true. It's like it's so, like, helpful to get out of that. But I also know, like, this one meme keeps on coming up on Instagram for me, and it's like, so something about, like, I wish I had my phone here because I've saved it. I've saved it, like, twice. It says, like, your body needs one day of, like, taking off to rest and, like, whatever. And I have such a hard time doing that. Even if it's not just filming, it's like, doing stuff, whatever. And so, but I know that. And so I almost kind of was like, okay, well, obviously it's so late that I can't film a bunch of videos today. And I'm so, like, feeling exhausted that I'm not going to be like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, I just can't today. So I was like, I'll just film a vlog and do that. And then I was, like, thinking about tomorrow, and I was like, well, I want to film this. And I was like, maybe you just need to take off the rest of the weekend and just on Monday start posting videos. So, but I didn't know when the electricity was going to come on when I posted the last thing, which is why I said it, and then I'll start regularly posting videos. So I will start regularly posting videos again on my other channels either tomorrow or Monday. Tomorrow, depending on what we do, I may just do 1 or 2 videos. I also kind of feel like, that was that lady driving around again that was with her daughter. I wonder if they still don't have electricity. I'll feel bad for them if they don't. You can tell, like, at night, because when the lights are down, because you can see in the neighborhood, like, where the carriage lights are, you can see, like, who has lights and who doesn't if you walk around the neighborhood. So, I mean, obviously, that's a no-brainer. So you can kind of see that, right? That, who it does. I kind of feel like, to be honest with you, just taking today and tomorrow after this, well, obviously I'll vlog tomorrow, like I said, but taking today and tomorrow and just watching a bunch of TV, listening to some audiobooks, playing solitaire on my phone, and just, like, everything I did last night, like, I didn't even play a lot of solitaire. I didn't listen to as much of my audiobook as I wanted to because I was afraid that I would run out of battery, So today and tomorrow, maybe I'll just, relax and, just relax. And I'm like, I got stuck for a second. Did you see that? I looked at this leaf down there. This is where my head went, okay? So I looked down here and there's, like, this wet leaf, and I looked at it and I was like, that leaf is so pretty. And I was like, and look at how, like, the light is shining on the wet part of that. I was just, like, in my head, and I, like, just completely forgot what I was saying. Yeah, okay. I think that right there, that leaf was a sign that I need to just vlog and then we'll resume on Monday. Now, I say that and then watch tomorrow. I'll film 7 videos. We're just going to kind of play it by ear. But as of today, I'm not like this. I'm just going to do my vlog, and then that's going to be it. So I don't know what I'm going to watch tonight. I feel like there's all these shows that are coming in October that I want to watch. So a couple people have asked me about that show, Grotesquerie, which is with Niecy Nash. I do really want to watch that. It's one of those shows, I've heard it's fantastic. It's one of those shows that I really don't want to watch until, like, more episodes are out. I really, at this point, have a hard time watching a show unless I binge watch a show. So, like, to watch a show, there's, like, with reality TV and stuff like that, like, I'll watch it every week because Alex and I do, or I'll watch it by myself, like, The Golden Bachelorette. That's one thing. But when it's going to be, like, a 6 to 10 episode limited series, like, I would rather binge watch. Because then what'll happen is I'll get to the 3rd episode, and then I'll be like, I've got to wait another week. And I know that they're doing that. I think it's on Hulu. That Grotesquerie. Is it a Ryan Murphy one? I don't know. It looks like a Ryan Murphy one. But I read the synopsis about it. It's about a detective, I think, that's going through something. Somebody said that, like, she's an alcoholic that's struggling. It looks fantastic. It looks really, really good. There's, like, 2 or 3 true crime documentaries coming out. in October, and there's like 2 or 3 new series that are coming out in October that I'm really excited to watch. I actually need to go through and make a list and start keeping a list of all these shows that are coming out so that I know when they come out. But they're all coming out like October 18th. Oh, Salem's Lot is coming out October 3rd. It's a movie though on Max. Should I do a reaction to Storm of the Century? I mean, I know it's old, but I kind of feel like I want to on my Peter Watches, I mean not today, but on my Peter Watches TV channel sometime this week. So, that's it. Did I tell you that Alex is inside watching Grey's Anatomy? I was like, are you watching like old episodes or new episodes? Because that's not a show that he goes back and watches old episodes. Gossip Girl, that's the show that he watches old episodes. He's like, oh no, this is like the new episode. And I was like, oh my god, like, people ask me to watch a show. I've got so many seasons to catch up with Grey's Anatomy and all this kind of stuff. This has been really nice, I just have to tell you, to like sit out here and talk to you guys today. I missed this the last couple days. I mean, I looked and I haven't filmed like a drama video in like I think it's been like 3 days as of today. At this point, I'm kind of like, if you are going to take some time off, just deliberately take time off and then just film your vlog tomorrow and don't film any other videos and then come back on Monday with like a fresh start. That's kind of what I'm feeling like. But this is also the other thing, and this is where my head goes, is like, I don't know, like, what's going to happen with Boo, right? Like, I'm still in that state. And so it's like, if it's a day that's good, and he's good, and I'm feeling good, then I'm like, you might as well film videos, you know? So, so I don't know. Because I'm like, there's going to be a day when possibly you have to take the day off, you know? And then, if that's the case, or a couple days off, if that's the case, then you might as well film videos when you can. So, anyway, we'll see. We'll see how I go. But on my other channels, don't expect anything until Monday. But if I do film videos tomorrow, today I'm not filming any other videos than my vlog, but this one probably won't be up till late anyway. So, but on Sunday, so this is Saturday. So on Sunday, right now I'm not planning to film any other videos but my vlog to come back on Monday as a fresh start. If I do film videos over my other channels, well then it'll be a surprise. So, but I will be filming my vlog over here tomorrow. And if for some reason, if we lose electricity or, you know, something else would happen, you know, God forbid, if something else would happen, then I will, of course, I will put it up in the community tab and I will put it up in the Vloggerinos group. So always check the community tab. If you guys are like, Peter hasn't posted a vlog and we wonder what's going on, I will always like update you guys if I can, if you know, whatever. So yeah, so anyway, I think that's it. Is that it? I hardly drank any of my coffee. This is really my first cup of coffee for the day. We have no iced coffee, and the bottles of iced coffee that I have in the refrigerator are kind of lukewarm at this point, so. If you guys have any scary show recommendations, please put it in the comment section below, because I do want to watch some scary shows. And I'm actually thinking about, I think I talked about this the other day, so, which is funny because I keep on getting all these shark recommendations. I think I'm going to stop the Shark Movie Club and bring it back. I think I'm not next summer, all summer, but like late spring. And I'm going to do it like all through the summer next year. Because the shark movies are more fun to watch in the summer. So I think I'm going to do that. But I do think last year in October, I binge watched the Friday the 13th movies. That was part of over there. And then we did the Halloween movies. We did like 2 a week, I think. 2 or 3 a week. I'm thinking about doing that with a series. People have asked me to do the Scream movies. I've seen the Scream movies so many times. Not the later ones, but I've seen them so many times that I'm not going to do the Scream movies. I don't know how many. If I'm going to do something, I want to do something that's like kind of like. I would love. Well, there's not that many out of them. The Terrifier, the 3rd one's coming out, but I also don't think a lot of people would watch it because they're really, really scary. But I'm thinking about doing the Saw movies because I've only like seen like 2 or 3 of them total, and I love them. I love them. Maybe more than that, but. I feel like I've only seen that in Jigsaw, so I think I'm going to do all of those in October. If you want to watch along with me, I will announce that over my Peter Does Stuff channel. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to announce it this week. So if you guys have any horror movie, like spooky things you want to watch, I might also do like, I know this is cheesy, but I watched the first Halloween Town movie. Was it last year or the year before that on Disney? And I really liked it, and I feel like there's 3 of those. So I might people be like, no, Peter, there's 4, and these, I might do those. I might binge watch those too. So I don't know, but let me know. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna get off here now. I'm gonna do my old outro because I haven't done it for a while. I do feel like these glasses make me look kind of older though, don't you think? I will say this, watching the Golden Bachelorette, like some of these men are like in their late 50s. They're literally like, I think one of the men's like 57, and the other guy is like, and they're between like, a couple of them are between like 57 and 61. And I'm like looking at him, and I'm like, now I know I'm older. I know I look older, right? But then I put my glasses on, and I'm like, yeah, you look older. Do you think these glasses make me look older? I think they do, don't they? But I don't really care. It's just like, embrace who you are, embrace your age, love it. You know what I mean? I like the glasses. I think the glasses are cute. If they make me look older, so be it. But anyway, okay. I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Saturday. Thank you so much for... This really just took a lot of my stress away and just really helped me today. And I'm gonna go get the other vlog up, and then I'm gonna turn around, render this one, and get this up as well. So you guys are gonna have back-to-back vlogs today that are both over an hour. That's crazy, isn't it? They're both over an hour long. Anyway, I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Saturday wherever you are. I hope that you guys are safe. If you were in the line of the storm, I mean, we have friends of ours that live in Florida and Georgia, and they're just I mean, you should see their yards are just like 3 feet high of water. So I hope that you guys are safe wherever you are. And if you're not by the storm, I hope that you guys are doing well and that you're okay. And if you guys are going through rough times right now, I'm sending lots of love and positivity to you. And I just want to say your love and positivity that you have sent to me has really, really helped me in the last 2 weeks, and especially the last couple days. So thank you again so much. I hope you're having, like I said again, a magically amazing Saturday. And if nobody else told you this today, I love you guys, and I usually say, and I will see you guys tomorrow, but I'm not going to say that. Remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want, or your week or weekend if you need to. 2, practice random acts of kindness, but shh, don't tell anyone. Just do it because it's a nice thing to do. It's the right thing to do. And 3, most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Like I always say, you might be putting a smile on their face. You might be changing their day for the better. You might be making them feel not so all alone. And you might be giving them a little bit of hope in their life. I just have to tell you, the amount of people that have checked in on me and Alex in the last week with Boo Radley and the last 24 hours with the electricity and stuff, especially people that I hadn't heard from in a while, that just heard through the grapevine or through Tanya and stuff like that at meetings. It really, really meant a lot to me. The amount of DMs that I got from people that are like, Peter, I know you don't know me, but I watch your videos, and I just wanted you to know that I watch your vlog about Boo, and I'm just sending so much love, and people sharing stories with me about what they went through. People being like, hey, I just want to lift your spirits, and they sent me some funny video. That just means a lot to me, and I just want to say I really, really appreciate it. Again. So, yeah, make sure that you reach out to somebody, because you don't know. You really don't know, that you might be that one thing in their life that day that really lifts their spirits. Also, be kinder to one another. Love one another a little bit more. Like Julie. Like Julie says on a Big Brother. Julie, I never can pronounce her last name. Whenever I say it, people always laugh at me. Julie Chen Moonves. Is that how you pronounce her name? She's been wearing the Gucci shoes this season. Have you seen? She's been wearing the Gucci shoes. But anyway, Julie always says, love one another. From outside of the Big Brother house, love one another. No. But anyway... No, she does say that, but no. Okay, I gotta get off here. And also, be kinder to one another, love one another a little bit more, and most importantly, be kinder and love yourselves. Be kinder to yourself and love yourself a little bit more, because if you're kinder to yourself, then you will be kinder to others, and if you love yourself more, then you will love others more as well. And I truly, truly believe that. I truly believe that the more forgiving I am of myself, the more forgiving I am of other people, the kinder I am to myself, the more I take care of myself. I think that energy is reciprocated to other people as well, and the more I love myself, the more I think I love other people. I think that when you are really struggling with loving yourself or being kind to yourself, that comes out in how we treat other people. And at times that I haven't been very kind to myself or loved myself, that obviously has come out to other people as well. So I think it is really, really important to be kind to yourself and love yourself. If you guys are having a great day, congratulations, enjoy it. If you're working today when you're watching this, I hope that you have a fantastic day at work and that it goes smoothly and quickly and that you get to relax soon. If you're going through tough times, like I said, I want to send a lot of love and positivity to you guys the way that you have sent it to me. And I want you to know that this too shall pass and the sun will shine again. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Love you. And for those that just happened to stick around because they wanted to hear Peter Monn sing "One More I Love You," I love you guys so much, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Love you. Happy birthday, Lena.